From the rifles that dominated battlefields to the pistols, bazookas, knives, and flamethrowers that cleared bunkers, the United States World War II armory was vast and varied. Here's a line-by-line restatement of the weapons that left their mark on the conflict, rewritten but preserving the original order, purpose, and detail. First, rifles and carbines. M1 Garand. General Patton famously called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. This semi-automatic .306 rifle gave American foot soldiers a decisive edge, the ability to fire 8 rounds in rapid succession without manually operating a bolt. Its combination of firepower and reliability fundamentally changed squad-level combat. M1 Carbine. Intended for support troops who required more firepower than a pistol but less bulk than a full-sized battle rifle. The M1 Carbine was light, handy, and chambered for a smaller .3 caliber cartridge. It ended up being manufactured in quantities that surpassed even the Garand. M1A1 Paratrooper Carbine, a carbine built especially for airborne forces. This variant featured a folding wire stock, so paratroopers could jump with the weapon secured to their chests and be ready to fight immediately upon landing. M1903A3 Springfield, a World War I holdover. The bolt-action Springfield remained in wide use early in World War II. Slower than the Garand, but precise and dependable, it later often served as a platform for launching grenades. M1903A4 Springfield Sniper, a scoped adaptation of the Springfield for precision shooting. By fitting optics and removing iron sights, the Army created its primary sniper rifle, bringing accurate long-range fire to chaotic battlefields in Europe and the Pacific. M1917 Enfield, a frequently overlooked bolt-action rifle in U.S. inventories. This sturdy control piece, carried in huge numbers during the previous war, was reissued for training, rear area security, and substantial Lend-Lease shipments. M1941 Johnson Rifle, the idiosyncratic challenger to the Garand. With a rotary magazine that could be topped up with stripper clips even with the bolt closed, it attracted a small but enthusiastic following among Marines early in the Pacific War. Next, submachine guns. Thompson M1A1, the simplified wartime Thompson. To accelerate production, the complex cooling fins and the top-mounted cocking handle were eliminated. Chambered in 45 ACP, it was devastating at close quarters, though heavy to carry. Thompson M1928A1, the classic Tommy gun, complete with the top-mounted charging handle and the distinctive cut compensator. This beautifully machined submachine gun was the U.S. Army's early war luxury before wartime cost reductions changed the design. M3 Grease Gun, functional, rough, and stamped from sheet metal. It resembled a mechanical tool and earned its nickname accordingly. Slower firing than the Thompson, it was more controllable and far cheaper to produce. M50 Rising, a stopgap submachine gun issued to Marines. While it could be accurate, the mechanism was notoriously vulnerable to sand and mud in the Pacific, often forcing troops to close the action by hand. Now, pistols and revolvers. M1911A1, the legendary U.S. sidearm. This semi-automatic pistol fired a heavy .45 caliber round with exceptional stopping power. Rugged and reliable, the 1911 remained the U.S. service pistol for decades. SNW Victory Model, a standard .38 special revolver made in very large numbers. Although less powerful than the 1911, it was essential for arming air crews, sailors, and domestic security personnel. Colt 1917 Revolver, a bug-frame revolver revived from World War I. It used half-moon clips to fire the same .45 caliber ammunition as the 1911, offering a stout supplementary sidearm. High-standard HDM silenced pistol, a whisper-quiet .22 caliber pistol with an integral suppressor, used by the OSS. Famously, demonstrations showed it could be fired in the Oval Office into a sandbag without President Roosevelt noticing. FP-45 Liberator, a psychological and practical tool of clandestine warfare. This crude, single-shot pistol cost about $2 to produce. Millions were airdropped to resistance forces to enable them to capture better weapons from occupying troops. Turning to machine guns. M1918A1 Bar, the infantry squad's automatic backbone. Firing full-power rifle cartridges, the Bar bridged the gap between individual rifles and heavier machine guns, although its 20-round magazine limited prolonged sustained fire. M1919A4 Browning, the standard air-cooled medium machine gun. Tripod-mounted, it provided dependable base of fire support, lighter than water-cooled alternatives but still requiring a crew to operate effectively. M1919A6 Browning, an effort to transform the tripod machine gun into a portable squad weapon by adding a stock and bipod. It functioned but was unwieldy and front-heavy for extended maneuver use. M1917 Water-cooled, the heavy sustained fire weapon. Using a water jacket to cool the barrel, it could deliver continuous fire for long durations, making it ideal for static defensive positions. M2HB .5 caliber, MA2, This heavy machine gun could shred light vehicles, low-flying aircraft, and enemy positions. Its durable, effective design has seen service well beyond World War II. Shotguns next. Winchester Model 1897, the trench shotgun with an exposed hammer and the ability to slam fire by holding the trigger while pumping. In close quarters, it was a terrifyingly effective weapon. Winchester Model 12, the cleaner, hammerless successor to the 1897. Rugged and dependable, it found extensive use in Pacific jungle combat where shotguns proved particularly useful. Ithaca 37, prized for its bottom eject design that kept dirt out of the action and made it ambidextrous, reliable in the harshest environments. Stevens Model 520, recognizable by its humpback receiver, this shotgun served reliably for guard and base security duties and saw frontline use as needed. Anti-tank and light support weapons. M1A1 Bazooka, a revolutionary shoulder-fired rocket launcher. It used a shaped charge to penetrate armor, giving infantry a practical anti-tank tool. Its backblast, however, was hazardous to anyone standing behind the fire. M18 recoilless rifle, effectively a man-portable cannon introduced late in the war. By venting propellant gases rearwards, it eliminated felt recoil and allowed soldiers to fire artillery shells at fortifications and armor from the shoulder. M1 57mm anti-tank gun, a crew-served anti-armor gun, essentially the licensed U.S. production of the British 6-pounder. It gave infantry a man-portable but potent anti-tank capability. M3 37mm anti-tank gun, by mid-war largely obsolete against heavy German armor and jokingly called a pop gun, it still proved useful in the Pacific for blasting bunkers when firing canister rounds. M7 rifle grenade launcher, a muzzle attachment for the M1 Garand that turned the rifleman into a mini artillery piece. A blank cartridge launched grenades much farther than a hand throw. Explosives and demolitions. Mk2 pineapple grenade, the classic U.S. fragmentation grenade. Its groved cast iron body aided grip and produced predictable fragmentation for clearing rooms and foxholes. M15 white phosphorus grenade, Willie Pete, producing dense smoke and burning phosphorus on detonation. It was used for screening, signaling, and for flushing enemies from cover. Its burns were notoriously difficult to extinguish. M1 anti-tank mine, a pressure-activated device for area denial. Buried on approaches, these mines immobilized tanks and disrupted enemy logistics. Bangalore torpedo, the wire-connected explosive tubes famed on D-Day. Designed to be shoved under barbed wire and other defenses, they detonated to open safe lanes for advancing infantry. TNT satchel charge, a canvas bag of TNT and a fuse, the basic, highly effective bunker buster thrown into fortifications or placed against structural weak points. Knives and bayonets. M3 combat knife, issued as being less practical, the M3 was a dedicated fighting and utility blade with a dagger-like profile for close combat tasks. USC MK bar, Mark II, perhaps the most famous U.S. fighting knife. Tough enough for prying crates and sharp enough for combat, the K-bar became a signature tool of Marine forces. M1 Garand bayonet, originally a long 16-inch sword bayonet, later shortened to a 10-inch blade for usefulness. Attached to the rifle, it remained both a physical and psychological weapon in assaults. M1917 Enfield bayonet, a long blade originally for the Enfield rifle. In World War II, it found continued use, including compatibility with trench shotguns. M1918 Mark I trench knife, a brutal World War I-era design with a knuckle duster handle and skull crusher pommel, issued to paratroopers and rangers for close, silent encounters. Mortars and flamethrowers. M2 60mm mortar, the infantryman's portable indirect fire piece. Small and light, it allowed companies to lob explosive rounds into defilade positions and behind ridgelines. M1 81mm mortar, the larger crew-served mortar, with far greater range and explosive punch, useful for breaking up enemy formations before they closed with friendly lines. M2 flamethrower, the terror weapon of island and bunker warfare in the Pacific. Carried on a soldier's back, it projected burning fuel into caves and dugouts to force surrenders or destroy fortified positions.